I know it was the last minute, but what happened today? I know it was like a last minute thing for you. You got invited to go back. Do you mind talking about that for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
So I know when I received the message, you were saying that you had to go back to the pyramids tonight. And so what were you doing tonight at the pyramids?
Well, came back from the middle of the desert, from the middle of White Desert, which is very far in the middle of Egypt, and I've never been there, and I wanted to go because of the eclipse that was yesterday.
Yeah.
There was an eclipse in Antarctica, and Antarctica is the White Desert, so I wanted to be in the White Desert too. So while we were there and receiving a lot of codes that I need for my projects, a friend of ours said, "I want for you to meet a group of people, but let's do it inside the pyramid. So I want for you to meet them there. So let's go." So we booked the pyramid and we went there. And the only time available was this time. So yeah, and so basically tonight, right now I'm going to the airport because I'm leaving Egypt after a month and a half being here, and this last meeting was like an introduction to the next step to follow in this new period. So it was kind of showing me the map of where to go in the next steps and what to take care of and what to pay attention to, and so it was a very, very good closing. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. That's amazing. Well, one, congratulations. I think that's beautiful. And I just want to introduce you because I didn't even get a chance to introduce you, Matthias, but we do have, thank you for being here. Matthias is a teacher and a speaker about planetary consciousness, also known as the Rememberer. And I just am very grateful for you being here. And before we get into immersion, I just want to say for me personally, it's so cool because my initiation into Gaia was because of you. And this was many years ago, like 10 or 11 years ago, when I first started to watch initiations. And that's how I kind of got into Gaia. And now we're here, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. And so I'm very grateful for being here with you. And so as we come into immersion this year, I'm curious if you mind sharing, what are you bringing into immersion this year?
So basically, sorry, I have someone whispering me things.
No, you're good. Don't worry.
Uh, so um, some of the people that are following me all the time knows that this year for me is very special because I started a new journey, a new path called Alkhemia. So my intention is everywhere I go to share a bit of what alchemy means, what is it, and what is the task that we are doing in the planet with alchemy. So, so this year, what I'm going to do is to share what is alchemia, what is this journey, what is the task that we all have to do, and the role we play in this transformation for the next 3 years. So yeah, I'm going to be sharing a little bit about all of that, which is a lot. So we would need like many immersions actually to explain it, but this would be an introduction for those who don't know.
Totally. And it's a huge cycle that we're going through. I mean, the next 3 years astrologically are monumental. So I think exactly what you're tuning into, like you're bringing a lot of awareness to what's coming in. And I think it's so important. And so I'm super excited to hear your talk and more about this. And now I also know that you've spoken at immersion before. This isn't your first time. So I'm curious just for newcomers that are here that are listening to us today, you know, about your experience at the Gaia Sphere. What do you love so much about being at the Gaia Sphere and doing immersion?
When the times that I've been in Gaia, obviously, like I always felt at home because I very well received all the time, and I must say that I'm always nervous when I'm about to speak there. I don't know why, but I feel very 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 nervous every time that I have to be in that stage. Um, but I feel that the sharing of people live when they are there, when they're uh, uh, living the experience of a conversation or a talk or a sharing in any way is much more powerful than just watching or recording. For me, it's very uncomfortable to speak to a camera, even if I know that then there are thousands of people listening. Um, for me, it's much more powerful when I can see the people, when the people is there giving the feedback, and of course, the frequency is not the same because the information, as we speak, is more. It takes shape according to what is happening with the people, with the presence.
Totally.
So that's why I think it's very nice, and I feel really, yeah, really happy to be able to share with everyone physically that.
Yeah, I totally understand in that way. It's having that group environment is powerful. It's always being in person, I always think is different. It's a completely different experience when you're able to be there in person, especially as a speaker. You know what I was just thinking about, because I see you're driving, you just left the pyramid, and I was gonna ask you a personal question that I'm sure other people are asking. How are you, Matthias, going to get grounded? Like, how do you get grounded after all of this? As you're getting ready to go on a flight, you're getting ready to go somewhere else. How do you get yourself nice and grounded and anchored after all of this?
Well, I don't know.
Good answer.
basically, basically, these 3 days in the desert, I was moving around, and literally, my grounding moments were to be able to go everywhere barefoot.
Yeah,
So I don't usually ground in one place. So I'm constantly traveling. So for me to be able to connect to a place, uh, uh, like barefoot and laying down in the sand, for me was very grounding. Actually, these days in silence, in the middle of nowhere, so far from people, it was, for me, that was grounding
yeah,
more than actually a technique or anything. It was just a space to have silence and to connect with an environment that has no people, no cities, to be far away from everything.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, today someone asked me, like, what is the best place in the world that you like, where you go? And I said Antarctica. So they asked why, and I said because there's no people.
yeah.
so in, so my brain, my spiritual level, my body, everything feels like expanded and relaxed. Yeah, that's my grounding is finding places where no people.
Yeah, where yeah, totally. And the silence of it all. Coming into, we're still in the beginning of 2026. We just had our first eclipse. We have another one coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm curious for yourself for 2026. I know you're saying you're initiating this new journey. Do you have an intention for yourself for this year? Is there something that is kind of like your mantra for this year, something that 2026 has like your meaning or your intention for this year?
Well, in my personal experience, or that I have started this February, uh, is to leave the first stage of alchemy, which is Nigredo. Um, so it's the process of basically going back to the dark, to the depth of your being, and to allow yourself to die in many possible ways. Um, the reason why um, the reason why I'm process, or I invite everyone to go to this process, is because we are in a process of the next 3 years in which there's going to be a lot of transformation, and the axis of all that transformation is the eclipse of August 2nd, 2027, which is the greatest eclipse, the longest in the century. So it's the most important moment of alchemy for the consciousness. So for me, this year is the preparation to let everything that I haven't allowed to die in myself, so I can be reborn and transform myself in a different level. Um, so that is kind of my intention. And every eclipse that we are living, from this one that we had yesterday, is using these eclipses as a way to unify my inner world and my outer world to be transformed.
Mhm.
So for a lot of spiritual practices, eclipses are not a very good moment to do a ceremony.
Right.
Are not moments to do connections or anything, because it's a very tricky energy during
Yes.
eclipses. But that's for the spiritual. For the alchemists, for the people that are working with alchemy, it's like the right moment to do a transformation.
Yeah.
So it's not about ceremonies, but it's about opening yourself to do the greatest of transformations. So yeah, so my intention in at least the next 6 months, since this eclipse until the next solar eclipse in August 12th, it's gonna be to allow every aspect of my old self to disappear. Not to disappear like it's useless, but to disappear as a shape, so it can become the the nourishment, the manure, also let's say, for the new seeds to come. Yeah.
I love your answer, and I just want to say for those of you that are tuning in, I just want to reiterate that if you want to hear more about all of this with Alchemia and learn about all of this, you have to come check out Matthias's talk for immersion. I think this is just a preview of what you're getting into. You're just kind of touching the surface of what this is all about, and I think it's going to be absolutely fascinating. And I know you're traveling or you're doing all this, and I just want to say thank you again for being here as you're transiting and going all over. So thank you so much for your time. And my last question I want to ask you, Matthias, is: do you have any words of wisdom for those of us that are in the room today that you'd like to share? Any messages or transmissions that you received that you'd like to share?
To them,
Yeah, to the people that are here today.
I couldn't hear you. Okay. Um, well, I would say, because of course we started to talk about alchemia, but I would like to explain this concept, which is spirituality and alchemia. So everyone knows what we are talking about and why we are doing it in this time. Spirituality is the ability to breathe. That's what it means. So it means you come back constantly to yourself through breath. So we always breathe, but we don't necessarily have the ability to breathe. So we have to learn to breathe correctly. We have to learn to come back to the self once and again. And that's the spirituality that we are talking about. Alchemy is a name that means black soil. Basically represent all the minerals and chemicals that nourish a seed for it to become a plant, and the plant to become a tree, and the tree to give fruits, and the fruits to give new seeds. So it's all about the transformation of matter into something new. Okay, so we all do alchemy all the time. For example, while cooking, cooking is an alchemy. Art is alchemy. So we do alchemy all the time, but we relate alchemy with magic usually.
Yeah.
But magic is an aspect of alchemy. Alchemy is the basic chemistry with the spirit. Is the ability to bring the balance, the cycles to matter. While for spirit, for spirituality, is like something invisible, something beyond. But for alchemy is how that beyond can transform here and now, can be real in this reality. So I invite you to recognize what is your alchemy in your life, in your daily life, because we all do it, but we forget about it. Yeah.
I love what you just said, and I feel like that's a perfect question for people to think about as a takeaway. Um, and like I said, if you guys want to learn more about all of this, definitely comment immersion below, and you'll get more information to be able to tune in person or live stream the event, no matter where you are in the world. Matthias, I'm very grateful again for your time tonight. And thank you for being here and giving us some of this beautiful information. And like I said, if you guys have any questions or need any more information, comment immersion below. And you can get an opportunity to learn more. I think it's called The Life of the Elements, right? It's Life of the Elements. Alchemia, is that the name of your talk?
Alkhemia. Yeah.
Yeah. And so if you want to, like I said, if you want to learn more all about this, comment immersion below. And thank you for tuning in, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Matthias, thank you for your time. And travel safe wherever you're heading to next.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
much. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. You're welcome. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Bye. Thank you.